Hiya, so I'm going to try and just quickly show you how I make my curry. I don't have a lot of battery left, so I might have to pause halfway and do some more. But basically I've got some, so far I've got some mushrooms in there. I'm going to put together, I'm going to put some, these are just frozen onions that I cut on Sunday night. I'm going to put some onions in there. I'm going to put some frozen spinach. So because it's curry, I'm going to put maybe 1, 2, 3, probably about 5 I would say. Frozen spinach cubes. They're just like those sorts of things. Like a frozen chopped spinach. Get it from a bit further. I'm going to put some frozen mixed veg into there. I think I have to show this without melting it. Got basic mixed vegetables in there. In there is peas, carrots, cauliflower. I think that's just it actually. Let's have a quick look. Carrot, cauliflower, peas and broccoli. So I'm just going to dump some of that in. I'm making a like up to the top really of curry so that I can have it for over sort of four person meal. I'm going to add some courgette to it. That's the only thing so far I've got to chop up. I would have had to chop the onions had I not chopped them already and put them in the freezer. Okay, so I've got my courgette. I'm just going to rejig the camera. I'm just going to move that around a little bit. If I can do this in a vague attempt. Let's get a little something just to put you on. It's thereabouts, I suppose. I don't know how to do that to get it high enough. It's not going to work, I don't think. Just balance down. It's been ages doing that. That's not going to work, is it? Need something in the mid range of height. I'll just put you up on top of my daughter's lunchbox. Right, here we go. So I'm just going to grab myself a knife. So this is quite a large courgette. So I'm going to cut the ends off. I don't think I'll use all of this because otherwise it's going to be a bit courgette-y. So I'm just going to take half off. I'm going to slice it midway. And then I'm going to slice it again so it's in sort of long quarters. And then I'm going to slice down the middle and slice into little chunks. Oh, that's gone a bit everywhere. So clip those out and do the same down here. Long strips. And just into little cubes so it's not too overwhelming. And I'm just going to slip it into here. Move you again for that. Excuse the state of my hob. But I don't tend to clean it first before cooking, otherwise it'll be there forever. I tend to clean it after. So, or sometimes not even at all and do it on a Sunday. There we go. Depending on how the day's been. I'm just going to fish out some of these without burning myself. So that's the courgette in. And I'm going to go for I think we're there with that. Now I just need to add in some curry powder. That's the wrong one. Curry powder. So we're going to add in some hot curry powder. So while this is all just cooking down, you know. Give it a little stir through. I think the only other thing I'll need to add now is a sweet potato. Powder. I'm just looking at my list up here, so I have a little list here of all the things I'm going to make on the I basically make these every week, and I kind of adjust it as it goes a lot according to how things are going, and then if it gets too unreadable I then just redo the whole thing. But at the moment I'm doing Thursday, which is curry and rice. So I forgot, I must write on there actually, that at this time around we're going to add some peanut butter. I'm going to add some peanut butter because I'm going to do 2 tablespoons, and that will split up into, it will be about 9 sins, so divided by 4 is around 2 sins there apart. So I'm going to do 2.5 sins per portion. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of peanut butter in towards the end. A little bit like a gado. I don't know whether you've heard of one of those, but it's like a, it's basically sort of pasta sauce with peanut butter in it, really. Gado. So I've got that going on at the moment. I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of curry powder. So I'm going to use my measuring spoon, and I've got my hot curry powder here, and I'm just going to add 1.5. Although admittedly my partner's been saying it's not as hot, and I must admit I agree with him, so maybe we've become adjusted to the taste. So I might this time round be a little brave and just put 2 tablespoons in as well, just to see how that pans out. I think sometimes when you add loads of vegetables, it can kind of take away the heat a little bit. Okay, I have to excuse the noise from the background. My children are watching telly, so that's just what's happening. Okay, so the curry's, that's all stirred in now. Now all I need to do is to get the... Okay, so I just run out of battery, so me and my daughter share this little charger between her and her little machine, so we'll see how we get on with this. So I've just peeled this sweet potato. I'm now just going to spin you around a little bit. I'm now just going to chop it into sort of chunks. So I'm going to go down all the way through, and then once I'm there, I'm now just going to cut it into similar size to the courgette. So then I'm just going to dump them in. So once that's all chopped it up, dump them into the so as I'm chopping them, some of them are circles, so I'm just going to chop them into quarters, and some of these are bigger ones, so they're going to be into 6s. So it's quite simple and quick, because I mean by now it's Thursday and I haven't had a tremendously good day mentally yesterday, so this is why by this point I still got to cook obviously, but I really don't want to be cooking for ages. I need something really, something I can just follow the recipe. Well, obviously it's a recipe I've made up myself, so it doesn't matter too much, but it's just something I can then just follow. You alright? Okay, settle down. Keep away from each other. So I'm just going to give it a little stir through. Okay, so that's now that stage. So I've got curry powder and rice. Right, so now I need to take one of these, which is a carton of chopped tomatoes and tomato juice. I'm going to pop up the sides and I'm going to cut all the way along the top. I'm doing scissors. So I'm just going to snip all the way over along the very top of it. So now it's just an open pot like that. And then I'm going to take my zhuzh, this thing here, this hand blender, and I'm just going to put it straight in the top and zhuzh it. So if I can, I don't know whether I can spin it round or not to show you. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's see if it works. Just meanwhile I do a bit of adjusting, but you can just see the top of it there. So basically I'm going to put that in there, in the container itself, and just to give it a little jump. So then it just makes it a bit even, and then I just pop this in my sink just to give it a little rinse off. And that saves me washing that. So then we end up with quite a nice, it ends up being quite sort of like tomato soupy passata type of thing, but with not so much water, and then that just goes straight in there. Okay, so now we're at a good base level. I'm now going to fill this one again with some water. Obviously that then also adds more water because I'm going to add some lentils, but also rinses the container out, which is double bonus. Now it's ready for recycling after it'll dry in the inside there. So now can you see that's really quite that's quite liquidy now, but that's all going to thicken up with, it's going to, you know, that's going to cook the sweet potato in there. I'm also going to add a little handful of lentils, and at this point add my 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So I'm just going to use these red lentils. These red lentils are quite good because obviously red lentils just take 20 minutes or so. I think it says here 25 to 30 minutes, but I find 20 minutes is just fine really. But this now, I think it's coming up to about sort of coming up to 20 past 5 or something like that. So by the time my partner gets home, which is in 40 minutes time, it'll be ready. So I'm just literally going to measure out a little handful, so about that sort of much, and just dump it in. Oh, I know, you're trying to do Christmas cards, so I've just dumped a little bit on there. I think I'll probably put, I don't want it too lentily. That's no problem. So he's doing his Christmas cards and he keeps getting upset that he's getting distracted by the telly. Right. So I'm going to give that a little stir through. So that's the lentils in, and the lentils are going to absorb quite a bit of that water. I feel like ratio-wise that's not quite enough, so I'm just going to do another little half handful just to put that in there. Okay. Give that a little stir through. Now that's going to be quite a nice little curry. Just going to quickly check to make sure there's nothing else there. There's the onions, sweet potatoes, spinach, that
Mum, I don't have that much more to do.
Okay, nearly there. Just going to do some peanut butter, and we are there. Just going to make sure I rinse off my tablespoon, otherwise the curry will go in the peanut butter. Last few seconds, I won't be a sec. So I'm going to use this one here. This is the Meridian Crunchy Peanut Butter, and I'm going to put just dump that in there. I'm going to put a peanut butter. So I'm going to use the side just to scrape it so that it's a little teaspoon, because those little extra sins can soon creep up on the peanut butter. Okay. So I'm going to use a little spoon just to scoop that out. That's one. Go for another one. There we go. That's two.
Ow, baby, my hit me in the face.
Okay, that's good.
Ow!
Okay. Give it a little stir through. This is all in. Okay. And then that is going to sit and simmer with a lid on him. Now, until I'm ready, and in a little bit I shall then put some rice on. Okay, I will see you in a bit. Bye. Hiya, I'll probably upload this as a separate video, so I'll just put it here. Yeah, I'll probably upload this as a separate video, so I will end it here and do it as just like a curry made. I probably won't do an end product because that'll be basically tomorrow when I eat it, or might have a bit tonight, but I'll just upload this as a separate one. So yeah, I mean, I would be fascinated to know how you make curries or anything like that, if you've had any. You ready? Yeah, you can go in the other room. Alright, I'm going to put it together and I'll put it together and upload. See you in a bit.